Yang are two fundamental principles of classical Chinese thought. We saw in the video on Qi that it manifests itself between heaven and earth, and today we will see that Yin and Yang represent two aspects of Qi, of which there are a direct extension and from which they derive. In The Way and Virtue of Lao Tseu, it is said, "In the beginning, Qi began to differentiate into a light and pure breath, Yang, which rose to form heaven, and a heavy and opaque breath, Yin, which descended to form earth, thus making the beginning of heaven and earth. The nature of heaven is to be pure and mobile, that of earth is to be opaque and stable. Yin and Yang form an inseparable pair. They depend on one another, in the sense that one always relies on the other as a point of reference. When the force of Yin reaches its hand, it has already laid the groundwork for a situation so that Yang can take over to enable its expression and growth. This ancient Chinese concept has endured through the ages, dynasties, and translations. In the great book of Yin and Yang, Yin strategies are prominently featured, and indeed, Yin is always mentioned first. Have we ever heard of Yang Yin? As the proverb goes, everything always begins with the Yin phase. Unfortunately, over the centuries, Yin has been the victim of numerous misinterpretations, ranging from ideology, misinterpretation, and religious rigidity to outright misogyny, particularly during the Song dynasty, when the abhorrent custom of foot binding was introduced. More recently, the concept has become widespread in the West, where it has been largely overused, and it's common to hear definitions that boil down to it's yin, it's yang, it's black, it's white, it's feminine, it's masculine. These subtle concepts have thus been reduced to limiting translations, which is unacceptable when we consider that every human being is composed of both yin and yang, and that their meanings extend to an infinite range of characteristics and situations. At their core, yin and yang should rather be seen as ways of acting, messengers of transformation, invitations to action and change. As a preamble to this video, which attempts to provide a simple explanation of what are yin and yang, what is important to never lose sight of regarding these two forces that form the Tao is that, in this ancient Chinese philosophy, everything is always in motion. Yang is a perpetual wave that tends towards yin, and vice versa. There are two immutable constants amid ceaseless change. It was Wang Bi, a young Chinese scholar from the Three Kingdoms period, who wrote, "Yin is that which will become yang, and yang is that which will become yin." The same is true of anything taken to its extreme, which transforms it into its opposite. Remember that yin and yang come together, separate, and alternate endlessly. This dynamic system allows one to embody multiple facets simultaneously, enabling one to be several things at once, active and gentle, introverted and responsible, and everyone, regardless of who they are, can evolve and position themselves in a yin or yang manner depending on a given situation. Nothing is fixed, everything is possible. Depending on the event, a strategy or action may be either yin or yang. To better understand these two concepts, I suggest looking at their respective ideograms side by side to better see their similarities and differences. First thing we notice is that on the left side there is the same B symbol. On the one hand, this reflects a cohesion between the two ideograms which cannot be separated, and on the other hand, it simultaneously highlights their complementary characteristics. This character B refers to the ritual mounds used in funeral ceremonies, and also to the slopes of a hill, one to the north and the other to the south. Regarding the right side of the two characters, for the character yin, at the bottom of the character is a character for cloud, on the northern slope of a hill, the north-facing slope, and above it, a character evoking an accumulation taking place now. Yin symbolizes the earth, the moon, and darkness. It governs the coolness of autumn, the gentle, the fertile, withdrawal, and even numbers. In the Yang character, it is the opposite. The right side shows the sun above the horizon, illuminating the south-facing slope and sending its rays onto the sunny side. It is breaking through the rain, the sky is clearing, and the temperature is rising. Yang symbolizes the sky, vigor, heat, and light, the unfolding of energies and activity. Movement and life are yang, as are odd numbers. Here is a list of verbs to help you better understand the qualities inherent in each character. As you may have realized, Yin and Yang are among the Chinese terms that are difficult to translate. Since there are concepts, it is more appropriate to always think in terms of verbs rather than adjectives when attempting to define them. This approach is less Western, making it easier to immerse oneself in Chinese thought and its eternal movement. As early as 540 before Christ, in the great commentator of Tseu, it was stated, "The six breaths are yin, shadow, and yang, sun, wind and rain, darkness and light. They are distinguished into 4 seasons and organized into 5 divisions of the year." In the West, many believe that yin and yang are strictly defined opposites. However, every situation has a yin aspect and a yang aspect relative to one another, and their relationship implies that each of these 2 aspects give life to the other. This is a mutual interaction between 2 aspects of the same situation that must be taken into account as they give life to one another. This notion of 2 inseparable parts creating a dynamic movement is essential. Everything is always movement, and time tirelessly brings about change. Let this phrase by Wang Bi become your mantra. Yin is that which will become yang, and yang is that which will become yin. Herein lies the very idea that the contrast between 2 concrete aspects characterizes the universe as well as each of its manifestations. The idea of alternation can be suggested by a spatial arrangement, the dual spectacle of a landscape where one moved from a shady slope to a sunny one, as well as by a temporal arrangement, the succession of periods of darkness, night, winter, to periods of light, day, summer. The yang of heaven corresponds to time, while the yin of earth corresponds to space, north-facing, south-facing diagram. This juxtaposition of radiant sectors simultaneously evokes a cyclical succession that reminds us that every situation has 2 aspects. Yin and Yang are vectors, signposts, and symbols of movement and life. Yang is dawn, it's also the transition from one season to another, the mild weather of spring, and the sun as its zenith, whereas Yin corresponds to twilight, the coolness of autumn, or even rain. So white yang and black yin? Not really. It's always a process. Yang refers to warning and brightening and always in motion toward one another. Yin is cooling and contracting. This concept is not so much about being as it is about becoming, flow, process, and movement, which correspond to the cycle of life. It's like a ceaseless dance between the moving and the still, between respite and renewal, between life and death. This way of seeing nature, this dynamism, radically changes our relationship with death and gives us perspective. Thus, what seems essential to us today will be significantly less important in 10 years. Taiji represents the eternal interaction between yin and yang. As we saw in the video about the Qingming festival, the Chinese people are an agricultural people who follow the seasons. Yin and Yang are integral to this essential seasonal rhythm and also denote directions, the cycle of day and night, and the different times of the day. Like the Taiji symbol, there is no zero value. Yin and Yang are always present, in minute quantities when their opposite is at its peak, indicated by blue arrows. It is at its lowest in the southeast, rises in the southwest, peaks in the northwest, and declines in the northeast. Yang, symbolized by red arrows, is at its minimum in the north, grows in the east, peaks in the south, and declines in the west. Now I'm going to give you a few examples of yin and yang. Let's start with a thunderstorm. Before it breaks, the storm manifests itself through various characteristics that correspond to yin. The sky darkens, the wind picks up, and the first few raindrops begin to fall. What follows is generally much more yang, with lightning and thunder driving all the force and spectacular action. In Sun Tzu's The Art of War, it is often better to adopt a strategy of retreat rather than charging headlong into a battle without thinking first. Observing the shifting balance of strengths and weaknesses over time allows one to find a good equilibrium. The more grounded and centered one is, the less likely one is to lose one's center of gravity. The more one becomes attuned and capable of sensing, understanding and accepting, and of either evading or attacking. In martial arts, evasion is a way to make an unsuspecting opponent lose their center of gravity. In a house, some rooms have a more yin energy and others a more yang energy. The ground floor is generally more yang because of the constant coming and going, while the upper floor is more yin since that's where the bedrooms are located. But even a kitchen with plenty of lighting and activity can be situated in the northern, more yin sector of the house. In mathematics, there is a certain abstraction behind the calculations, and even though Albert Einstein was a restless student, the fact remains that in his research he adopted a yin approach that drew upon his sense of allegory, a certain poetry distilled from theoretical rigor. At the initiative of the Cartier Foundation for Contemporary Art in Paris, the exhibition Mathematics, A Sudden Change of Scenery was organized a few years ago with the aim of creating a unique space bringing together renowned mathematicians and various artists selected for their curiosity and sense of wonder through the convergence of geometry, algebra, art, and cinema. It was on this occasion that Sir Michael Atiyah declared, "A mathematician is like an artist who paints. He does not paint what is there, he paints what he sees." In conclusion, here are two reference books on the Yin-Yang concept, which has become increasingly familiar in the West. Let's hope, as Cyril Javary puts it, that they keep their Chinese robes.